Morning, everybody. This is Alan Crone, CEO of the Crone Law Firm, and coming to you again this morning with some updates on legal issues surrounding the COVID-19 quarantine and related issues. And good morning. It's a bright sunny day here in Memphis. It sometimes makes us forget what's going on, but get outside and enjoy the day with appropriate physical distancing. I think this stuff is working, and we can't lose discipline now. Couple of things. One, I've noticed that over the last 24 hours or so, the state of Tennessee's Department of Labor's website, jobs4tn.gov, that's JOBS 4, the number 4, tn.gov. That's the website you go to apply for unemployment benefits. Specifically, it has been updated to accept applications for self-employed persons, independent contractors, gig economy workers, those folks who had not paid into the system but are entitled to the federal benefits. I know that has been a long-awaited development for many people, and so I encourage you to go and apply. Again, because of the number of people applying, I think they still may be having some technical problems with the technology, but be persistent and make application. And I know they're working on the backside of it. The program, the software program that they use to calculate and distribute benefits is an old one. It's run on COBOL technology, which is a 50-year-old computer language. It's the functional equivalent of having to read an employment manual in Latin. There are people who can do it, but they're few and far between. So and it's not just the state of Tennessee. There's lots of states are in this boat. It was one of those "if it ain't broke, don't fix it" kind of things. State budgets being what they are, they just didn't get around to updating that system. And now they're in the process of doing that. So go ahead and make your application for benefits, and we can see what happens. I thought it also might be good to revisit some issues that we've talked about before, but for whatever reason have become, at least in my mind, have become a little lost in the various other issues that small businesses have, particularly with regard to leave, sick leave. I know a lot of people have been worried and concerned and working on their SBA loans, and I think most people are working through those. Anecdotally, I can tell you, I've talked to some bankers, at least locally, who believe that at least in terms of the applications that have been made, that there's money available under the federal program. I had thought, and others had thought, that the rush would be so great that the applications would work out so that that money would go very quickly. And I think it is going quickly. I wouldn't hesitate. If you haven't made application and are planning to do it, I would go and make an application. And if you have a banker already, I think you're in much better shape dealing with a banker that you have a relationship with. They've already got a lot of your documents, and that can deal with you on a one-on-one level. Some of the larger banks, I think, are kind of overwhelmed. But if you have a relationship with them, then I think you go there. But a good community bank that you've done some business with, where they know your name, I think that would be my recommendation if you're just starting out. But those bankers tell me, and this is all anecdotal, but the bankers I'm talking to tell me that the money is there. The president is talking about another tranche of funding for those loans. So I think they would much rather have those loans in place than try to rely on unemployment compensation. We need to keep the economy rolling. So let's talk about leave here just real quick. Sorry to get off on that tangent, but I think it's an important one to deal with. The two kinds of leave that have been extended. One is which is an extension of the Family Medical Leave Act, And this is for people whose jobs are still intact, but are having problems that need leave because of their children's schooling. And so you can read the information I have on the screen. And that tells you who's entitled to it, when they're entitled to it, and what you're entitled to get. It's not a huge benefit, but it does protect. The important thing for small business people to remember is if someone's out on leave and you have to replace them, when they come back at the end of their 12 weeks of leave, whether it's paid or not, you still have to have a job waiting for them. So if you hire temporary people, those temporary people need to understand that it's not a permanent replacement. The other is the emergency paid sick leave, and this is for folks that there's a little bit of overlap here, but this is for people that either are subject to a federal, state, or local quarantine or isolation order, which would include, for example, here in the city of Memphis, the mayor's safer at home order. And the person is not available, not able to work because of the order. In other words, if telecommuting is an option, then there's no need for the leave. And the employee's been advised by a healthcare provider to self-quarantine. Again, you would need to get some written certification for that. And the employee is experiencing symptoms of COVID and seeking medical diagnosis. And so that's a maximum of $511 per day, or $5,110 total. So that's essentially 10 days of paid sick leave. And this is enforced under the Fair Labor Standards Act, as opposed to the Family Medical Leave Act. The second half of this is similar to the Family Medical Leave Act we saw a moment ago. But if someone is caring for an individual subject to a federal, state, or local quarantine order, or the individual has been advised to self-quarantine due to concerns related to COVID, if they're sick, if the employee is caring for the employee's son or daughter, or the employee is experiencing their substantially similar condition, then they're entitled to $200 per day with a limit of $10,000. So it's much longer paid leave, but at a smaller amount. And this would be in addition to any sick leave or paid vacation time or PTO or anything like that if you need it. If you're a small business owner and you have these requests for leave and you need to ask some questions, please give us a call, and we can certainly help you with that. We can set up a low-cost coaching session where we can kind of walk you through your particular situation. We're happy to do that. Well, happy Thursday to everybody. Thank you for continuing to watch this and share this. I've gotten reports that people forward these emails on or share it on social media, and we certainly appreciate that, because that helps get the word out. So if you have the ability to do that, we certainly don't mind and appreciate it. And I think people who need the information and can get the information would appreciate it as well. So happy Thursday. Let's hang in there, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Goodbye.